showtime!
Yo, what is going on, Patriots Nation? It is your full-time scientist, fuller-time sports fan, Soor here with my guy and longtime co-host of the Gillette Gazette, Aiden Hauser, father of Patriots Nation. Happy holidays, Patriots fans. Hope you all had a very Merry Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate, or no holiday. Hope you took advantage of the holidays that others celebrate. Whatever you did, hope there was a lot of football as part of that, because it's been good. It's been good to be a Patriots fan lately.
It's been super good, dude. Christmas came, I guess, late when it comes to us as Patriots fans, but still a good.
Or early if you want to look at the fourth quarter of the Ravens game.
Right. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take that as our early Christmas present, and then our late Christmas present, I guess, just winning the AFC East just after yesterday.
Yeah, lots of Christmas gifts. Thank you, Rob Kraft.
Thank you, Rob Kraft. Thank you, Josh Allen, for missing that 2-point conversion.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Drake May. Thank you, Chad Ryland, because this all came down to him and his heroic tank effort.
Yeah. Chad Ryland is still, and Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, those two paved the way for this second dynasty.
Is it crazy to say that the second dynasty is already starting? We haven't even won like a playoff game yet.
Hey, Chiefs fans started really early. Why can't we?
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, we have proof of concept. They don't.
Right. Yeah, we know what we know what a real dynasty is.
Yeah. It has the makings for it, right? A really good coach, a really good quarterback, and Robert Kraft.
Exactly. Do you think, okay, quick question. Do you think McDaniel stays with us? Has he failed enough as a head coach for people to be like, we know better, and just that he wants to stay in New England with Drake?
I hope that he would know better. At some point, I would hope that his humility leads him to realize that, all right, I'm not cut out to be a head coach. I'm a really good offensive coordinator. I will take it.
Right. Well, it's like you've seen all the success he had with Brady, and now he has like a young quarterback that's like benefiting. Like I wouldn't say he's a system quarterback, but like McDaniels has been awesome for us, way better than Van Pelt last year.
No, I mean, let's be honest. I don't think Drake May has the season he's having under Matt Patricia or Bill O'Brien or Alex Van Pelt. And if I'm McDaniels, I look at what's happening this season, and you've got so many young players, you've got a lot of cap space to work with. So this team is probably going to get a lot better over the offseason.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy, but like there are gaping holes on the defense. There are issues on the offensive line. Like this is a raw team that still has won. I can't believe I'm saying this. We've won 13 games.
Yeah, dude, that's so wild.
And we might win 14, which would rival like some of Brady's best regular seasons. So if I'm McDaniels, why would I not want to see that through and see what can come out of that? Potentially add a couple rings to my resume, because the accolades are going to come. Division titles, hopefully more than that. I mean, this season, we'll see. I mean, this season feels like a gift. We were not expecting to be here, and I'm going to take what happens and be okay with it at the end of the day, even if the week after I might, want to jump off a bridge if we lose. 2 weeks later, I'll be okay. But starting next season with the additional cap space and hopefully another draft under our belt, yada, 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 we can hopefully be talking about this team from the get-go as Super Bowl contenders.
Absolutely, dude.
And so we're gonna start by breaking down the Baltimore game because we were celebrating our holidays. We were both watching the game. I was on vacation with my family in Puerto Rico and doing everything I could while they were sleeping to not scream at the top of my lungs.
What time was that game for you?
So it's an hour ahead. So it started at 9:20, and it ended at like 1.
Okay. Wait, 9:20. The Ravens game did?
Yeah, because it was Sunday night.
Geez, dude. So that was a bit of a late night, but
yeah. I mean, I would have watched it whenever. I go through great lengths as a Patriots fan. When I was studying abroad in Korea, I didn't do this every week, but our 1 p.m. games would start at 1 a.m. in Korea when I was studying abroad. And for some of the bigger ones in 2019, I would set an alarm for 1 a.m., watch until 4:25 a.m., and then go back to sleep.
That's so late.
I'm a Pats fan. We're a different breed.
I would do the same thing, but that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't do it every week because that would have been unhealthy. But we watch from anywhere and we watch at any time. Especially if the product is this good, right? If this was 2023, no, I'm not waking up at any crazy time to watch a Pats game.
Yeah, we're not waking up at 1 a.m. to watch Bailey Zappi throw for 140 yards and 3 picks.
Actually, when I was in India when we had the tank game last year, and I did watch that because I was like, let's go. It's time for a seminal moment in the franchise history where we lose and we get a number 1 pick and then we won. I'm still bitter about that, even though we're fine. We're doing really well right now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, it's like, yeah, it still would have been nice to have that, but like where we're sitting, I don't know if Travis Hunter would be really nice, but I love ending up with Will Campbell still at the, what was that, the 4th pick we got?
Yeah. No, I mean, if I had the 1, I would get the 4 and then maybe try to trade into the latter half of the first round or something.
Right.
It all worked out. But yeah, let's hear from you first. Let's start negative because this was not the cleanest of games. There were some issues going on. So
Right.
So what was your biggest down from the Pats win against Baltimore?
I think the biggest takeaway, like, down was this. Derrick Henry, like, still ran all over us. And I mean, we have a really good run defense. I think the biggest reason for that was still no Milton Williams and still no Robert Spillane. Like those our leading tackler and like our arguably our best defensive player were both out. So like Derrick Henry was still basically their whole offense in that game. So I think the fact that we just really couldn't stop him was probably the biggest thing. Like, luckily for us, the passing game didn't do like anything crazy, if I remember correctly. I mean, Zay Flowers kind of had a pretty decent night, but I think that was the biggest one. Was like, man, it just seemed like we really had no answer. Like, if we stopped Henry behind the line, like, it was great, but it seemed like every time we didn't, like, he was just having big run after big run.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. It's frustrating because the rushing defense started out near the top of the league against some really good running backs, and it just feels like we've kind of lost our way. Mm-hmm. And I do think part of that is the injuries. But I mean, for me, it underscores the need for us to have more depth at linebacker and have more depth in the interior defensive line. I think we have a really good first layer of players throughout the defense, but not a great second layer. I mean, I would argue that at edge rusher we're still missing one even in the starting lineup. But God, if something happened to Harold Landry, I don't know what we would do for an exterior pass rush.
Right, because it's like what we have him and Chase on, who have been good, but I feel like I don't know. We have the room, like the cap space to maybe even next year just get someone like that, like, or even like a trade for like a Max Crosby or something would be insane. Like we need that elite, not even elite, but just like a guy who just generates constant pressure at the very least.
Yeah, are the Bengals finally ready to give up and give us Trey Hendrickson?
Dude, I hope so. I like Trey Hendrickson, or I mean, like I think the Max Crosby one isn't even wild. Like he's not playing the next 2 weeks because they don't want him to get injured, and I think he's mad about it.
The extent to which they're wasting Joe Burrow's prime years is kind of criminal.
I know. I mean,
he's already 29.
Oh, I didn't realize he's that. I guess he was kind of an old rookie.
Yeah, he played a full college career.
Was he a 6-year player?
I think 5th year. It was back before the ridiculousness.
Okay,
but he's transferred from Ohio State and played a full 5.
Okay. So yeah, it's like he's had one Super Bowl appearance to show for it. But yeah, they're wasting his career. They need to get rid of Hendrickson and just we could pay him whatever he wants, and I think we would still be sitting pretty because we've still got a lot of cap space, don't we?
Yeah, tons. And I like that we didn't go all in, right? Because in 2021 we kind of went all in free agency, and some of those people panned out, and some of them didn't, and we ended up not having any room in years future, and now we gave ourselves the liberty to pick and choose. I mean, we gave ourselves some room for error, basically, and now we have room to play this offseason, which is important for sure. I think when you're talking run defense, part of it I think is going to boil down to Williams and Spillane should be back for the playoffs, and those that should improve tremendously. I hopefully we can keep things at bay. But I think there are some schematic things we can do as well. Zach Kerr is doing a serviceable job as play caller. We'll have to figure out whether that's the direction we actually want to stay with long term. I also, and I'll get to this later, but I want to talk to you about whether we should sign anybody. There are some players I have in mind that are kind of hidden gems on the waivers. But yeah, it's definitely something that needs to improve. But at the same time, after watching yesterday's game or day before yesterday's game, it's just hard to stop Derrick Henry at all. And he's in his best form of the season right now. So maybe there's nothing we could have done.
Probably not. I mean, yeah, I want to say, I can't remember what the actual stat is, but like Derrick Henry in December is pretty much unstoppable. And like playoff Derrick Henry is going to be like a force to be reckoned with if they end up making it to the playoffs.
If they do make it to the playoffs, I think it would be on the back of Derrick Henry having an amazing game on Sunday.
Right.
Although the Steelers lost to the Browns, so he might not have to do much.
Yeah, and I mean, that's especially, I don't think TJ Watt played that game. If he still, I don't think he played. He didn't play, right? Because of that lung surgery yet.
Right.
I'd assume he might play, but even if he doesn't, like that's going to be pretty significant. Like in, I guess their hopes for making the playoffs as well, because the Steelers are kind of right on that brink too.
Right. My biggest down from the game, I'm just going to generally say sloppiness. I thought we had some moments of brilliance, obviously, in the fourth quarter, right? But there was just, first 3 quarters were just filled with really, really naive mistakes. May's interception was very avoidable. It was one of the few Drake May interceptions where I'm like, yeah, I think Booty could have run a better route, but I also thought that was quite a bad throw. And he could have made better choices. It was just third down. We could have taken 3. Got lucky that after that the Ravens made probably one of the we got a fumble after that. Almost got another one with the Mark Andrews play.
Mm-hmm.
And on the rush defense end of things, on the bright side of we didn't really stop them on the running end of things. We did get a fumble after Eric Henry, and that was a key moment in the game. So we couldn't stop him, but we found other ways to get going. Mm-hmm. But penalties, I think we had a fumble of our own, a strip sack with Drake May, I believe. And again, just one of those things where you got to just give up on the play a little bit earlier, or either throw the ball away or crouch down and take the sack. Let Andy Borregales finish the drive with his legs. And then some penalties. And oh my God, the fake punt with Martin Mapu it rivals the fake punt that the Colts tried against us. It's not quite up there. That will forever go down as the worst attempted fake punt in history, but this was up there. I don't know what we were thinking there from that field position, that down and distance. It made no sense. And it's the reason the game was almost lost. We were down 13-24 because of that play.
I thought after seeing that play, I thought it was over. It was like, all right, we look so bad. But
yeah,
we pulled her through. Drake played well at the end, and we won. So I mean, I guess that's all that matters. But yeah, I thought it was a botched snap. That's how bad of a play I thought it was.
Yeah. What are your ups for the game, or your up singular for the game?
This was the first time we've ever really seen Drake lead us in a comeback. So I think it was good just to see him play well down the stretch. That game-winning drive, the Ramondre touchdown, like the whole offense like looked awesome that final quarter with the comeback. So seeing us finally be like, all right, we can now be down, because I think we were down 11 at the start of the fourth,
right?
And come back, like it wasn't like a huge comeback, but like,
I mean, 10 points in the fourth quarter, that's not trivial.
No, but yeah, you're right. I guess when we think of comeback, it's like, oh, catastrophic, like we're down 20, like a Josh Allen comeback or whatever.
We're desensitized a little bit to Tom Brady, but that was a comeback.
Right. So I think just seeing like, okay, Drake can actually play from behind, and like we can win games even though we're behind, was just encouraging, especially with the playoffs coming up when we're playing actually good teams. That was my biggest up. Just seeing him in crunch time, still playing collected, and good football at the end there was just really encouraging and super exciting.
Yeah, I fully agree. I was thinking with like the easy schedule that the relatively easy schedule that we've had, I was worried about just kind of our lack of true toe-to-toe tussles. Mm-hmm. It's important to be battle tested heading into the playoffs, and we had a battle in game 1 against the Bills. We kind of had a battle against the Bucks, and then we had like faux battles like the game against the Falcons that should not have been a battle at any point. But I felt like between the experience of trying to battle back and coming close in the Bills game, in the second Bills game where we blew the lead, and we had some moments of getting back in there, and then this game where we finally, I mean, this is the first time since week 3 that we were down by multiple scores in the fourth. I mean, we haven't been down in the fourth a lot, period. So I think these are important experiences. I'm not saying that we should have played so badly in these first 3 quarters. I don't know if that was the intention to create a scenario for Drake May, but I feel like these experiences are important heading into the playoffs. You're away from home. You're playing a talented team in Baltimore, and you have very little time to go and win the game. And I thought Drake May played pretty much perfectly. Distributed the ball well among his receivers. Defense came in clutch with a fumble, all that stuff. It's gonna be my biggest stop. Because Drake May was the biggest up by a country mile. Also, shout out to him, first 300-yard game of the season. Finally.
Well, he almost had 400 yards.
For me, I'm going to say this was a good get-back game for multiple receivers. Hunter Henry did have a drop, but he kind of redeemed himself with a touchdown and kind of got back into the fray of things. Stephon Diggs had a really, really good game, befitting a number one receiver. Matt Collins did too, but I don't want to talk too much about that because we're not going to have him for very long. That's a real bummer to have him injured. It's going to be tough to navigate things without him. I think he is a underratedly important piece. But as he's fading, Stephon Diggs has had now 2 amazing games. We'll get into the Jets game later. And then Kyle Williams, of course, got going with that big touchdown. He's kind of establishing himself as the go-to deep threat for the team, slowly but surely. So it was great to see multiple receivers kind of having get-back games.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, after we're talking about a game that happened, I guess, 2 weeks ago by the schedule, but it's going to be interesting to see how some of these receivers now play with like Matt Collins and Booty both banged up as well. Like what's the offense going to look like? They had their get right games, but now they're kind of back on the injury bug kind of took hold of them.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. I think it's good that we have more depth than we've had in a long time at the receiver position. So while it's not good having people out, I think we do have the talent that we need to still maintain an offense, especially with, of course, Campbell coming back and all of that. Do you know if Campbell's coming back? And I know he's eligible to come back in week 18, but I don't know if he's going to. I don't think he should.
Yeah, I don't think he should either with like the playoffs on lock. It was interesting though. I didn't realize like it didn't show that he was on the injury report at all. I don't know if they just don't take people in IR into consideration. But I couldn't see anything anywhere showing him like out or are on IR. So I wasn't sure if he was just like a healthy scratch or how that all worked out. But
yeah,
either way, like whatever it looks like, I think we need to keep him healthy. Our offensive line seems to be playing like all right. It's not like last year. But if our offensive line's playing all right and then Campbell comes back, I think that's just going to be like, I don't know, adds even more like importance to him. Like we could actually have a really good offensive line kind of coming into the stretch.
Yeah, and I think Vidarian's done a serviceable job, but I think having Campbell just opens up the offense a little bit more. There's more you can do. There's more that you can try on the left side with him there.
Yeah,
and he is returning to practice this week, so that's very exciting.
Good. Yeah, that's huge.
We'll see. We'll see if he returns to action. I mean, I wouldn't mind if we put him out for a couple of like practice snaps late in the game if we're winning by a lot. But I don't think he needs to play meaningful football this week. I think since you went, I'll go first this time. Biggest down for this game. Oh my goodness.
Are we talking just the game this last week, just against the Jets?
Yeah, the Jets game.
Or yesterday, I guess.
Yeah. This is tough. I mean, overall, it was really a complete effort, dominant game, never really in doubt the whole time.
It was almost boring, like how good we were playing, if that makes sense. Like, I love that we were playing that good, but like, I don't know. It was like a game of Madden playing on like rookie mode or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna say we didn't allow much, but I would say that we allowed more big plays than I would have wanted us to.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like, especially since we really dominated the line of scrimmage, they kind of had to go for big plays to survive, but they had more than I would have liked them to. They had they had their touchdown was I think a 59-yarder from Breece Hall. Didn't like that. Then Breece also had a 21-yard reception. John Mechie had an 18-yard reception. So there were a couple chunk plays that they were getting on us that were not ideal. I think, especially playoffs. In the playoffs, games can be won and lost on these big plays. You can dominate the line of scrimmage for the majority of the game, but then allow some big play here and there. And especially against a team like the Jets, I would have liked to see less.
Yeah, dude, I'm just gonna agree. I mean, I fully agree with you. I just can't really think of any other negative that we've really had. Like, part of me just thinks like we not necessarily like giving up, but it was probably just to the point where it's like, all right, can we just get this game like just done? Like, we've already shown that we're gonna win this. Again, I think that was another game still without Spillane, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So it's like that. A lot of that could be attributed to that, but it's like, I don't know. And that's not even like Breece Hall had that big run, but outside of that, like the Jets just didn't do anything.
I mean, let your MVP candidate quarterback pad his stats a little bit.
I guess that could be the other negative, is that we weren't going for tying the record for seven touchdown passes.
Oh, I think we could have broken it. We were scoring every drive.
Because was it 35-10 at the half or something? 35-3? What was 35-3?
Drake May was not part of a drive in that game that did not go for a touchdown.
Yeah.
We had 6 drives. We scored 6 touchdowns. 5 of them were his. I understand, you want to be sportsmanlike and not run up the score too much, but it's also the Jets, and your quarterback gunning for MVP. You run up the score a little bit.
Exactly. And I mean, I even think we were playing conservative with Dobbs. Like, I don't think Dobbs probably would have scored a touchdown or two if we actually like stuck to a normal play calling structure, I guess.
Yeah. All right, enough of that. I mean, let's I think we were racking our brains like, are we going to be able to come up with a down for this game? And I had to really search the highlights and the stats to find one in this one. I mean, it was a really clean and good effort. Yeah, they were overmatched, but what I liked is that it felt like we just played really fundamentally sound and good football.
I do have kind of like a soft down, just real quick. I really would have liked it if Kyle Williams had more of a padded stat line. I mean, 3 for 20, kind of had a big drop. I thought this was going to be his chance to kind of be up there with Diggs, just especially with Booty out and Mac Hollins out. He didn't. That's okay. Maybe he just still needs a little more time to develop. We've seen what he can do when he gets his touches, but I was kind of hoping he had a little more usage in that game. and just kind of get the ball rolling as we head into playoffs is just another guy that we could really trust just put out there on every play.
Yeah.
Not to say that I don't trust him, but I just thought this was going to be like the perfect game for him to kind of his welcome to the NFL game. But
I mean, I think I would say that last week's Ravens game was at least that was a welcome to the NFL moment for sure.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of proven himself, and he's found his role in this team, which is he's going to be the big play guy. But I would, especially with Mike Hollins out long term, medium term, I guess. If we're being optimistic about our playoff chances, but I would like to see him used more as like our actual like traditional deep threat wide receiver, not necessarily an every down receiver, but not too far off from that either. So my first up for this game, I'm going to go red zone. It's been an issue for us on both offense and defense, especially on defense. We have the worst red zone defense by a country mile in the NFL. And our red zone offense isn't great either. We settle for field goals far too often, but 5 red zone trips for the offense, 5 touchdowns. That was great. And then 2 red zone trips for the Jets. One ended in downs, one ended in a field goal. I would say, yes, it's the Jets, but I think it's good to have that kind of rhythm. It's good to see proof of concept and good to know that we can stop teams in that part of the field. I think that's a big confidence booster for that defense in that phase, because it's super important for the playoffs that we can bring teams off the field and make them settle for 3 points.
Absolutely. Trying to think, what can I get selective here? Do I have to try and think of anything crazy as an up? I don't know. I mean, we even kind of talked about it in the downs of like what our ups were, but I think I'll go again just with Drake's playing awesome. Just 5 touchdowns, insane. He could have had 7. The fact that he was pulled in the second half just shows like how everything went well for us. So I think it's kind of hard to find like the biggest up from this game, considering like we all played just a really solid game. I guess the biggest, maybe the biggest overarching up is just like the fact that we just looked that good against the Jets are horrible. They're an NFL team though. Just towards the end of the season, we didn't throw away some dumb loss that I feel like we do. Just in what history looks like, just a lot of the times those in division games, like the Jets somehow pull a game away. But
I mean, you think about it this way: the Jets are only a game out from the Browns team. I mean, they came in this week tied in record with a Browns team that beat Pittsburgh, right? So the Steelers did exactly what I was a little afraid that we might do in this week, which I was wrong. Glad that I was. For me, my second up, I'm gonna say I thought the running game did nicely.
Yeah,
Henderson had a great game. It was nice to see him get the majority of the touches, but Mondre did well with his opportunities as well. Again, those two have a synergy and know their roles, which might change from game to game. Their defenses where Mondre's a better matchup, and defenses where Trayvon's a matchup, and defenses like this one where either of them will be a perfectly fine matchup. But it was nice to see just them two establishing rhythm, because the running game has been on the inconsistent side. So important to have these opportunities to kind of get back in the fray.
Yeah, man, I like it. I like I'm glad Ramondre's back to playing well. I don't think he's going to be the workhorse guy. I think the more volume guy is going to be Henderson, just with his explosiveness. But like Henderson may never be like a good between the like tackles running back, but that's okay if we have Ramondre, who looks awesome when he's running up the middle. Like it seemed like every time Henderson took the ball, like he's kind of a smaller guy. Like when he gets wrapped up, he just goes down. But Ramondre just breaks tackles. Like really, honestly, like I'm not like a Derrick Henry, but like probably as good as really any other running back. Like he doesn't usually go down on first contact. So like him being like the early, like the between the tackles grinder and Henderson kind of being our big play guy. Like I like the thunder and lightning kind of duo we got here.
Yeah, I fully agree. And the one thing I will say, and this is maybe like a micro down, Henderson hasn't impressed me from the pass catching perspective. I just, based on what I saw at Ohio State, I expected more. Maybe we were saving it for the playoffs, but I'd like to see that used a little bit more. But on the other hand, Ramondre is quietly having a phenomenal pass catching season. And this game was no exception. He was our second leading receiver. 5 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown, and a big chunk play that was really fun to watch. But he is killing it in the pass game. Has 323 receiving yards, and this was his first receiving touchdown, which good to see him get rewarded for all of his effort. But it's been an underrated part of this offense for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he has 300 yards on he has like 323 yards on the season receiving, and he's missed a couple of games.
Right.
So yeah, he's been good. But I do agree too with like, we haven't really utilized Henderson in the pass game, which like you said was a big thing at Ohio State. So I'm wondering if it's like, we don't really need him to yet because Ramondre is kind of doing well, or if it's like he's a rookie, we're going to kind of just ease him into that. But I still like, I don't think we've really eclipsed like how good he could be in the pass catching sense. He's been awesome as just like our outside runner with those huge those huge runs that he's had. But when I think he can be even more like spectacular if we just even start like the screen with him, or even like, I know it wouldn't be considered a pass, but like those reverses where you actually just kind of get him running before he just gets the handoff is like, he's in a different way. He's like Derrick Henry, where like once he's up at full speed, it's like good luck. Like Henry takes a while to get at full speed, but it's like have fun tackling him just because he's so big. But then with Henderson, it's like he's just so fast and shifty. When he gets the ball, it's kind of like game over. So I think we, as an offense, like should try and figure out ways to get him into open space a little more, whether it's just more pitches or even screens, or I don't know, like just in the passing game, running routes.
Find ways to give him space to start a play, right? Because once he gets a head of steam going, he's not being stopped. How about your second up for the game?
Second up, let me look at the box score real quick. You know what? I'm gonna say it was just good to see Diggs have back-to-back good games. He's kind of been that prime time. Oh, it's prime time. Like put him in your fantasy lineup or whatever. But he actually just had another good game, especially with Booty out and Mac Hollins out. We needed like a guy to trust in, and like he was still that guy. And I don't know why he's not on. I don't know why he's only playing like half the snaps or whatever. But like when he's on the field, he still makes incredible plays. That little run to the right rollout, and where he just mossed the defender. It was like he looked like prime Diggs, and he's in his 30s.
Yeah, absolutely. So like that was incredible.
It wasn't just stats; like he was getting like hyper funneled all these targets, but like he was making impressive plays, and like that's good to see heading into the playoffs. Of like this is he's still like our top receiver talent-wise.
Oh, I mean, and he's quietly having a very good season. I mean, these 2 games were phenomenal. It's really good to see him just kind of really take the bull by the horns and this close to the playoffs. And I think he can sense the moment. Diggs is, at this stage in his career, probably one of those guys that's not going to use 100% of his energy every single game, but when he sees the moments where he needs to deliver, he will deliver. And he sees the end of the season near. And so he's going to up his level of play accordingly. I mean, if he has 30 yards in this game, he'll have a 1,000-yard season. So quietly doing a great job. I mean, when's the last time we had a 1,000-yard receiver? Probably Edelman, right?
I think it was Edelman like 21 or something.
Right. No,
yeah, man, I think this.
Yeah. Did he play in 21? I think he retired in 2020.
Maybe it was 20. Whatever it was, I know it was Edelman. I couldn't remember the year.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want to win next week. I do think the 2 things I really want to see, though, is like I want Diggs to get his 1,000, and I also want Henderson to get 1,000. I don't think that's out of the picture because I think he's at like 950 rushing yards.
Yeah.
So if he has another one of his big games, he could get to 1,000 too. Because that's one where, I mean, did Ramondre ever get 1,000?
No.
Okay, I can't remember if he was close or not. So that means our last one was probably Harris, right?
Yeah. That's crazy.
So like this year could be the first year in a while where we have okay, so 2022 he had 1,000 rushing yards. Sorry, Ramondre did. But that's still 4 years ago. Or 3 years ago. If we can get 1,000-yard rusher and 1,000-yard receiver, that's going to be, I mean, pretty significant for like our mini rebuild that we've done.
And at that point, he was kind of far and away the number 1 back. Damian Harris had really taken a seat. So the fact that Henderson's on pace to do that as a rookie and splitting meaningful time with another very, very talented running back, it's impressive that he's in that position.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think Diggs just needs 30. Trying to see if there are any other milestones. No, on my end, it only shows Henderson at 858. So
he'll have to say 950. Sorry, I meant 850. Like he only like a 150er.
So he'll have to have a pretty phenomenal game. If Mondre gets, I mean, Mondre is only 28 yards from a 500-yard season, so that's something. Let's see. No, not many other meaningful milestones. Again, Drake May 797 yards away from a 5,000-yard season. But more realistically, he's almost definitely going to get to. I guess if he has near 300 yards, he'll have a 4,500-yard season, which has not been done very often by Patriots quarterbacks.
Right. Oh, dude, you forgot also Efton Chisholm. He's only 960 yards off from his first 1,000-yard season, too.
That's right. And that was going to be my kind of bonus up of this is real with Matt Collins going on IR. This is really good timing for someone else to show themselves as a meaningful piece to the team. Chisholm had a great game. I mean, he only had 2 receptions, but I thought he was kind of consistent throughout and got a big play, got a touchdown. So it was great to see him getting going.
Yeah, I mean, both were good grabs too. That first down was like, I don't know. It wasn't anything like crazy, like he absolutely like demolished the defender, but it was a good little catch and run.
Efton Chisholm's not demolishing defenders as much as I would like us to. It's just not. It's just not his style. It's not his size. Yeah. But he's making use of his athleticism. He's making use of his agility. That's all you can really ask for.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're on to Miami. Quick thoughts on this game.
I mean, it's still an important win. If we win this, and I think we're only really we win. Like obviously, we have the division locked now, so that's good. But seeding still matters. So like we need to still win this to stay at second seed. But also, if Denver loses, we got the first seed locked, and then what is that home field advantage throughout the playoffs?
Yeah.
Which sounds nice, but at the same time, like we're the only team that's undefeated on the road. So do we really want that?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Okay.
And more importantly, we get a bye when we're a little bit banged up. It would be nice to see people. It would be nice to see a little bit more time for recovery. I wish we hadn't put Mike Collins on IR, because if we get this bye that delays his timeline a little bit, you can just kind of. I wish you could just kind of put him on a week-to-week basis and just see what you can get out of him. And maybe that's selfish, and maybe I'm underestimating the extent of his injury, but you never know when recoveries can be quick. And this is a case where if we get a bye, that would delay Hollins' return by a game. Unless, of course,
I saw that if we get a first round bye, he's eligible to return only if we make the Super Bowl.
Wow. You mean when?
When? Isn't it kind of crazy though? Like, just if you were to go back 1 year and like if future Aiden told past Aiden that Mac Hollins would be a value contributor and we'd be upset that he's on IR, I'd call myself crazy.
Yeah. Also, if you told me that
this is our big. You told me what?
If you told me that I'd be mentioning the Super Bowl in a non-satirical sense, then I would have told you that you were crazy.
Right. But I mean, even last year, remember we were just like, this was our big receiver signing was Mac Hollins. Are you kidding me? And then now, like, I know you love him. I love him. It's like he's been great for our offense. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
No, I still wouldn't have been happy if that was the only receiver signing. I mean, Diggs was a super important signing, but yes. I did not realize that.
But I mean, and then with Diggs too, it's like it's just kind of awesome how it all worked out. How like I know we wanted Godwin, we were hoping for Ayuk at some point, and then both guys are just like out pretty much the whole year with injuries, and Diggs has been healthy.
Well, it's good that Mac Hollins and Stephon Diggs finally have a real quarterback to play with.
Right? Yeah, they've never had that before. They've just had Josh Allen who chokes in the fourth. Like he's not that good.
Right. Miami has these. They've been terrible this season. Don't get me wrong, but they have these weird games where they play. They have stretches of really good football at times. Yesterday's game being an example of it. They had some really good defensive play. They were opportunistic. They got 3 turnovers. They also forced a few punts. Queen Evers was serviceable, but although I partially attribute that to the Bucs pass defense really being bad right now. They have the ability to put up. They have the ability to stop teams. They have the ability to put up a few points. So I don't think we can go into this game completely lazy, right? At the same time, as long as we don't do that, I also don't see how we can lose.
Right. Like Ewers, I think he's for sure an upgrade over Brady Cook.
Yes.
The coaching is as well, and like the skill position players as well. But at the same time, I don't think he's going to carve up our team. Again, it's going to be just stopping the run with Achane.
He's going to be
Waddle
for sure.
And then Waddle left the game early, so I'm like, I think that's even a significant thing to be monitored. You don't want to ever like be excited for injuries, but if he's out, that's pretty big for us.
This was also the wrong game for Miami to find out what a weapon they have in Theo Weiss. That was an amazing touchdown from him. I mean, I've seen him at Oklahoma. I knew, like, when they drafted him, I'm like, I hope they don't use him right, because if they use him right, he'll be really good.
Oh, I didn't realize he was from Oklahoma. So you know him well then, huh?
Yeah. I mean, he transferred to Missouri, so I'm not a big fan.
Okay.
But obviously, this isn't the Miami of the past, and you don't have a Tyreek Hill waiting for you.
Right.
But they've got some depth there. I mean, Malik Washington's also a decent receiver. Cedric Wilson as well. They got some talent. I don't think Quinn Ewers is going to be able to make best use of all of that. I think he had a couple of really nice breaks go his way, but Miami could have easily lost that game, and his stat line was still not that impressive. But he did a good job staying out of the way of mistakes, I will say. And sometimes that's all you need to do against teams that aren't us. Unfortunately, we do have us. So before we get into more, let's talk revenge games. So I got Jack Jones, and then I've got the long snapper punter duo. You've got the Joe Cardona and the Jake Bailey revenge games.
Oh. I'm trying to think who else we got. Jack Jones, Joe Is Matt Judon still on the team? Or did he get released? Oh, he's on the Bills. I didn't realize he was on the Bills because he was on the Bills practice squad. But he was at the beginning of the year. I know he was on Miami.
Right.
Let me just see if I can just pull up the depth chart real quick for Miami. I'm sure you've already done that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't really think of anyone.
Like Bradley Chubb is. We all know how talented he is, and the threat that he presents. I feel like against Vidarian Lowe, they could be a bit of a threat in the pass rushing end of things. And again, I think A-Chain's the main thing we need to worry about. Honestly, you just got to play mistake-free football.
Mm-hmm. Which I think we've been doing pretty well for the most part. Like other than that ugly pick from Drake, I guess he had a fumble as well. Just tighten it up, and I think we'll be fine.
The other thing at stake in this game is that if we lose Buffalo beats the Jets, which they will, and Jacksonville beats the Texans, which is a reasonable thing, even although I think that'll be a good game. We'll be the 3rd seed and Buffalo will be the 6th seed, and I don't want anything to do with Buffalo.
No.
I want some other team to take them out so that we don't have to deal with them.
But at the same time, though, it's like I'd much rather play Buffalo in the wild card matchup than in the AFC Championship. I don't know how the bracket works, anything, if that's even possible, but
see, you're not traumatized like me. You didn't go and watch the last wild card Buffalo New England matchup live.
I watched it at home and I was mad, but I can't imagine you spending a couple $100 going there and watching us just get decimated by Nyheim Hines
in negative 30-degree weather.
Yuck.
But I mean, I also, this is our last chance to tune up before the playoffs. I want us to try some stuff. I want us to have Trayvon Henderson catch the ball more. I want us to have Efton Chisholm play a bigger role, have Kyle Williams play a bigger role, and figure out what this offense looks like without Matt Collins. And then, I kind of want to – I don't feel like we have a face of the defense right now. So I think we have a lot of players that are in good form, but I don't feel like anybody is really, really establishing themselves. So I would love to see. I think this is an important game. I never like that teams mail in their Week 18 games anyway. I think there's a medium between going all out and completely mailing it in. I think it's an important. How you end the regular season is it's an important tone setter. Mm-hmm. Whether it's for an off season for some teams or whether it's for the playoffs.
Right.
Also, are there any number one pick games next week? I'm trying to figure out if there's like a
who do the Raiders play? I know I know this Sunday was the Raiders. I think the Raiders Giants were fighting for it, weren't they?
Oh right, that was the pillow fight game. Giants won easily.
Isn't it crazy that we lost to the Raiders? Like, if we beat them, like, we wouldn't be worried about this. We were one of their 2 wins.
That is wild.
They beat us, and they beat. Who else did they beat? I wonder if it was a good team. We'll see.
No.
No.
I haven't looked, but I'm saying no.
Trying to see. I
mean, people talk about our schedule, but really the only reason that we, I think they beat the Titans, right?
It was the Titans 10-20, and then they beat us 13-20.
Also, good for the Titans for not being the worst team in the league this year. They're really moving up in the world.
They are, dude. I think their future is kind of bright. Like, I mean, I think Cam Ward's going to be good. I think Cam Ward's going to be good. And I think DK is going to also be good as well.
Right.
But yeah, again, can't believe we lost to that team.
It's people talk about our schedule, but the only reason that we're in this situation, I mean, the only reason that we're not 15-1 is that it took us 3 games to get our engines running because we had a bunch of new players and coaches.
Right.
We should be 15-1 right now. And actually, I would argue that we should be 16-0 and playing for a 17-0 season because we should have beaten the Bills. Also, your AirPods are doing that thing again. Can you hear me?
Did I lose you for a sec?
Yeah, you did, but we're back. Hello? So while Aiden's AirPods are taking a little bit of break from action, hello? Anyway, like I said, while Aiden is taking a bit of a break from action, I just wanted to introduce our next segment where we talk about I just want to make sure he's back. Are you back? Want to talk about some free agents that we could maybe hire and kind of in a James Harrison a few years ago kind of way where we get someone critical for a playoff push. A couple of people that came to mind. I saw that Mecole Hardman got released from the Bills. Would love to see him. I think, especially with Matt Collins out for a few games, he has a veteran presence. I don't think the Bills really used him properly. And so I think he could be an important piece. He's still young. He's still talented. Not going to be a number 1 receiver by any means, but he's an important depth piece. I think we could definitely use him. I also look at the defense. I look at people like Jawan Bentley, who doesn't have a team right now, that could potentially be a critical piece that other teams somehow haven't figured out how to use him or that they should use him. Mm-hmm. I would not be surprised at all if he were to come back and immediately get off the bat playing good football.
Yeah, sorry, I lost you for a sec. I was my AirPods kind of was on the fritz. Are you just talking about current free agents we think that we could add to our team?
Yeah, you're good. I vamped for a bit. I brought up Mecole Hardman and Jawan Bentley.
Is it crazy to say? I'm pretty sure Stephon Gilmore's a free agent.
No way.
I think he
get on that now.
Bring him in, even if he's like our 3rd or 4th. I'm gonna Google it.
He can teach Gonzo a thing or two.
It says he's on the Vikings. I don't think he is.
What are your thoughts while you verify that on Mecole Hardman?
I mean, I don't think he's anything spectacular, but just another speed guy just could be helpful outside of Kyle. I mean, Max, I feel like Max actually pretty fast, but Just with our depth piece, if we need to run like some vertical routes or anything, he would do. That's pretty much all he can really do. I don't think that would be a horrible signing. I mean, it may be crazy. Nelson Aguilar's a free agent. I know we had him for a couple of years. He wasn't anything spectacular, but he knows the system. He's all right. I know there's a lot of times where I absolutely hated him, but I mean, there's a lot worse options out there than him.
I didn't realize Alan Lazard's a free agent.
Lazard is, Deontay Johnson is, which is, yeah, we knew that just because of the off-field issues or whatever.
Did Lazard also have off-field issues?
I don't think he does.
Or was it just on-field lack of good playing?
I think he's just not good.
Yeah, but he's been good before.
The one that surprised me is Tyler Boyd's not on a roster.
Yeah, I brought up Mecole Hardman, but now I'm realizing there are some better players than him. Kadarius Toney. I mean, he could always. I don't think he's that good, but I also feel like he's not really been given a fair shot. If we want someone for just the playoffs, Robert Woods is super solid. He's just old.
I think
it depends on what we're looking for. OBJ is still available. I think
Tyler Boyd would be my top option.
Yeah. But I don't think it would be crazy to get a receiver, just a depth receiver in this moment and see what we can get out of them.
Or even Kyle Phillips. I don't he was on Tennessee a few years ago, but he's just like, maybe we don't need another slot receiver, but he just kind of, I felt like was one of those guys that just, if you need 4 yards to get it to him and he'll catch it sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh my God, Shaq Mason. We have a chance to atone for a past mistake.
And Isaiah Wynn.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing for our left tackle that there are 3 tackles that they're not that many tackle free agents, and 3 of them are ours, or used to be Patriots. Isaiah Wynn, Justin Herron, and Connor McDermott.
Oh. Jedrick Wills and Lyle Collins being free agents is still kind of crazy too to me.
I kind of love that Shaq Mason's available. Oh my God, Shaq Barrett's available. Yannick Ngakoue is available. I think that getting a depth piece at edge would be huge. And again, these are players that have been good recently, semi-recently, and I feel like we could find a use for them.
Carl Lawson's Jerry Hughes, Buffalo guy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, some of these guys are definitely on like the back end of their career, but you'd think they'd at least add some value as a depth piece for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you see Kamu Grugier-Hill is there too?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I pronounced his name correctly. I know he wasn't on our team very long, but
I tell you what, there's some good players here, or formerly good players here. Cam Sutton?
Formerly good. I know, it's just like a stroll down memory lane looking at these players. And then there's some I've never even heard of.
And so I think that, I brought up the example of when we got James Harrison for one of our playoff runs. Like, these are probably not players that you can use for an entire season, but can we use them for 4 games? Absolutely, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about stamina then. Take short-term contract and just see what you can get. Don't have to pay him much. No harm, no foul.
What's even better is if we sign these guys to like 2 games, their jerseys are going to be so much like more awesome.
Right?
Like a Justin Simmons Patriots jersey would be sweet.
Yes. I mean, I would love an OBJ Patriots jersey. That's the one that I want. If we're just going that route, that's the one I want for this entire.
That would be like 3 years too late. I remember when he was a free agent when he went to the Rams or whatever. I was hoping we would sign him, and we never did.
Right. We have one last week of Patriots regular season football, and hopefully next week we won't be previewing a game, and we'll be just previewing the playoffs in general, because the Broncos will have lost to the Chargers and we will get the Dolphins, but we'll see. But Patriots Nation, regardless, there are some exciting times ahead of us.
It's a good time to be a Patriots fan. It always is, but like now it's actually like there's a reason to be a fan.
As the Christmas movie says, it's a wonderful life.
Yeah.
And on that note, we'll see you next week, Patriots Nation.
See ya.